Alright, welcome back to the channel. I am here with Weston, and we're going to be doing a shadow game. He wants to play against my YCS Indianapolis winning deck, basically, Hero Frogs. So I have it organized in this way because I wanted to show my friends that this deck plays like 20 plus one-of cards in it, which is very similar to Zombies and Value Turbo, which are also two really good decks in the format. But yeah, Hero Frogs, the build that I use anyway, is playing a lot of one-ofs. In fact, all of these cards here are all at 1 in the deck. So it's really interesting just because of how much variance one-ofs can create, and it also means that your opponent can't really play around these cards because playing around one-ofs is kind of a fool's errand. But anyway, why don't we just go into a duel?
It reminds me of that conversation you had with Andy Sang on the podcast where he was talking about some of his OCG friends and their philosophy versus like TCG, and like some people overvalue consistency and not enough of like the top ceiling. And like it's okay to give up a little bit of that for like bigger power, and that's kind of like what your Future Fusion Dandy does. Is like it just like when you draw it, like it just goes nuts, right? And it's like sure, maybe it doesn't always work out, but like when it does, it just goes bananas.
Yeah.
Also, I have seen just like watching like in the War League stuff and just kind of just general replays, Frogs have been beating like Lightsworn and Christia Sworn more often than I've been not seeing. Like,
yep,
like that even when it's supposed to be a bad matchup, like when it's a good Frog player, like that's just hard to beat. Which is exactly what I want to practice here is playing against one of the best Frog players and just seeing what I could do better and getting also your input of like what I can do better.
Yeah, I don't think the Frog matchup versus Christia Sworn is as bad as it once was or whatever. It's definitely a lot better now. So I'm gonna add this to hand. I can't believe people don't play this card, because it is quite the card. 1-for-1 I'm talking about.
Yeah, I saw on your video with the guy who got second place. He doesn't play 1-for-1. That started quite the flame war in the comment section. Yeah,
I mean, he's not even the only person who doesn't play it, and in his build, like, sure, everybody's build is different, but like I'm just surprised when people talk about how they either don't like the card at all or they're not really good with it or whatever stuff they say about it. I'm just like, this card is really, really good in my opinion. So yeah.
Yeah, from my little experience with the deck, it's usually always really good.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. It combos well with Dandelion too. It also makes sense with Junk Synchron. It makes sense with Stratos. If you're playing Malicious, then that's a Wombo combo. Like if I had Stratos in my deck, or not Stratos, Malicious. If I had Malicious in my deck, that would have been an even crazier turn 1, because I would have 3 monsters on the field right now.
Let's see. What do I want to do with this hand?
There's also the valuable thing of putting Substone in defense mode is a big deal too, I think, in certain cases. I was going to say, have you been testing out like builds like Ludo that play Legacy Yacht and stuff like that?
Yes.
Because I like it in Blackwings a lot. I
have also been testing. I tested the first place RBT with the 6 draw cards too. I was playing around with that a little bit. I made his deck like card for card and put it on the ladder. I like the main deck, like it was cool, but his side, I don't really understand his. Even after watching his video, his side deck's a little interesting. But I mean, I still won with it, just from like outplaying people. But
yeah. Side decking, I think, always should be personal. I'm a big advocate of not necessarily copying someone's side deck once you've played with the deck a couple times. Like, sure, use it at first to just see how it is, but then I think that your side deck just needs to be personalized towards your feelings on the matchups and stuff like that. And that's why when people ask me for side deck advice, like I did do a video on my side deck guide, and that was a video I did like over a year ago now. But in terms of like, my exact side deck strategy, it changes literally every time I add or subtract a card out of my deck. Like, you know what I mean? Like my deck has changed from Nationals, it changed from YCS Richmond, and then it changed from YCS Indy. All of the side decks have changed. I used to play multiple Super Polys and stuff, so we don't do that anymore. Yeah. You have to take all of that in consideration.
And yeah, especially as like with every tournament, there's like these little micro adjustments that people make, and it's never going to be just like static of like, oh, here's your side deck forever.
Right. All right, so we got the best opening, Whirlwind Shura.
Yes. All right, let's grab this guy. And then, yeah, dupe blocking me turn 1 is quite interesting.
1-for-1. It's one of the only ways to do it.
I was like I saw him opening. I'm like, oh great, I Rowan Shura, that's beautiful. And then you do that. I'm like, well, that makes it a little bit harder.
Yeah, makes it awkward for sure.
Funny enough, I'm just gonna pass.
All right.
Yep.
Let's see. How do I want to handle this turn? Okay, so I'm gonna do this as well. I think we'll also go.
Is that game?
Oh, I don't know. I actually have no idea how much damage this is. I'm gonna attack with everybody first and then Unifrog last.
Yeah, so that's 100. That's 24. That's 35. And then 400, yeah.
Yep, and then pop whirlwind.
Okay. Well, that Kai has really put a damper on things.
Yeah, one of the things about this matchup is definitely if they don't get a level 4 in a grave, it makes it very difficult from that point.
Let's see. What do I want to do here now?
Yep. Yep. Alright, this guy is some random number. 1750, I guess? Okay, so I'm gonna move this to your field and also just activate effect.
Let's see.
Or you can not.
Do I? Because then you're just gonna get another card. I probably don't want to do that.
Okay, that's fine. And put it in my grave, please. Thank you. Okay, so you're at 600. We will go summon.
Summon, good.
Priority. Okay. So I will attack directly. Yep. Kill your guy. Into Yato. Man, can never play Dark Dust Spirit again.
I mean, that's game because Caius will just... Yeah, that's just game, yeah.
Yeah, you have to knock the Dark Monster on the field, and even if you don't, then I'll target himself. You have to have Bottomless there. It's like really awkward.
I was really dumb. I had that Mirror Force last turn, and I was like... So I was hoping that Shura was going to live, and then I figured Uni would pop the Whirlwind, and then I could go special... either go normal Blizzard special back, Shura special Gale, and then Black Rose the field, and then not be so behind, but that just fell apart immediately. So yeah, that was probably dumb on me. I needed to just set it anyway.
That was one of those hands that is just auto win. Like, it had literally everything I wanted in it. Miracle Fusion, Caius, Stratos, 1-for-1. This deck just has a lot of auto win hand. I mean, your hand going first obviously was also very strong with Whirlwind Shura. Die rolls are just so important in the Edison format. It's one of the flaws of the format.
Yeah. All right. I think this is good. All right.
All right. Good luck. Have fun.
Good morning.
Good morning indeed.
All right, so Caius, Alias, Dust, Brain, Rhoda. We'll send back the Caius.
Okay. Oh, let's see. Oops. I'll put this in my hand.
Yep.
Fact.
Yep.
To attack or not to attack? That is the question, but I am going to attack.
Sure.
Yep. Oh, okay.
Alright, now we go Whirlwind.
You and this card.
Actually, I didn't even need to play that because I don't have a target in my deck at the moment.
No. So you drew value?
Yes. I just realized that. I'm like, oh, I just like slammed it. And I'm like, oh, that's probably not a great idea. I'm not even going to get any value out of that.
So you play 1 or 2 value?
I've been trying 1. Just it's kind of like I realize like especially after watching Ludo's video, like there's like the core of the deck, and then there's so many different things you kind of try out. And so like I'm just kind of trying out 1 value because I went from playing 3, now I'm trying 1 and just kind of testing out different things. So let's go here. Yeah, this was going to be really dumb if you draw a... Oh, yep. I knew the brain control was in there, yeah.
Yep. We have to do some work.
Yeah, I shouldn't have even summoned that, because now you get... Yeah. That was really dumb of me.
Yeah, I mean that's like a once in a lifetime kind of mistake. I feel like I thought you were going to say you play 2 value because then it's like that chance of that happening are very low at that point, of course.
Yeah. I think I just lose the game at this point.
I don't know if you lose. My hand is weak. Like, it's Alias, Malicious Edge, and Swap Frog, which is not like the craziest cards that I have right now, but I am going to at least do this. To just like get rid of this problematic card.
Because if I had held this card, because I didn't need it, now my next turn is infinitely better. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so I mean, I just worry that... What do I worry about? I worry about... The False Knight is not the biggest deal here. Dark Arm is like a scary card. Okay. Yep. We will get Treva.
So even though I'm playing absolutely terrible right now, I'm actually 2-0 in the monthly Edison tournament.
Oh.
And last time I talked about my goal, it came true. So I'm going to say it here. All I got to do is win like 3 more rounds.
Yeah.
And it's double elimination. So I'm through the first 2, and all I got to do is win 3 more, and I'll have my World's Invite. And I have 2 more times I can lose. So
yeah, that's actually pretty damn good. I think I watched one of your replays. You were playing against Mercenary, and you just 2-0'd his value deck.
Yeah, I literally just played that like an hour ago. Yeah,
I saw that, and I was like, this was not close, really. Like you actually, when I watched, I was like, you played well, like actually.
Thank you.
I watched that like a couple hours ago because I was bored and I started looking. Well, I went into Edison was it Format Libraries thing, and I think a replay was posted for it, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. I see Weston's name there. Oh,
and that's the thing, like, I'm not really that scared of value. Like, it's a 50-50, and it really just depends on what you draw, and like, but I feel like it's like they play with their cards on the field. It's not that hard of a game.
Yeah.
Frogs is so hard because all your cards are in your hand, and I can't do anything until it's too late.
Yeah, I agree. This again.
Yep. This is Kai's really is what makes this matchup super hard.
Yes, this card is nonsense. Actually, like it is nonsense. The card. I'm thinking about what you could have. I always think about my lose conditions. One of them being brain control. So specifically, you would need brain control plus Blizzard, brain control plus Sirocco and a monster, like a Bora and a monster. So it takes a very specific 3-card combo, I feel like, to kill me, or like brain control is just involved, right? And I could put up a bit of a defense. I don't know if it's worth it. I'm just gonna see what happens. I'm up a game. If I get savaged, it is what it is.
So brain's gone.
Yeah, I haven't seen a Miracle Fusion yet. We got a little cough going on.
Yeah, COVID a couple years ago gave me asthma, and it just will randomly flare up, and like it's really hard to take care of. Like my inhaler isn't doing anything, so I got to go back to the doctor.
So do you take albuterol?
Yep. It's like it worked last time, and it's not working this time.
So there's a stronger inhaler that's more like a steroid that I take when I have like flare-ups that are, because I also have asthma. I was born with it, so I have chronic asthma, and mine was really bad. It's under control now, but when every once in a while, like every couple years, I'll just get a period of like a month where my asthma is really bad, and I don't know what causes that. But the last time I went to the doctor's, which was last year, she prescribed me like a Flovent type of inhaler that's red, and she said take this one instead of the albuterol, because the albuterol is a rescue inhaler, and the other one is an inhaler that's meant to solve the problem, whereas the albuterol just kind of puts a band-aid on it, and then the symptoms will return eventually. But the one that I take now when I get a flare-up, like she says that one is stronger, and it will address the actual issue with whatever's going on with your lung at that time, as opposed to just like bandage.
I have that one. Yeah.
Okay.
It's red.
Yes.
I took it. I went through 2 of them, and it didn't do anything. So yeah, it's like I feel like with this type, whatever my COVID asthma is, like every time I've had to go into doctor, it's like a different like fix, essentially. Yeah. And then this feels real bad, but I'll have no other opportunity to do this.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna econ with Treeborn, and I'm gonna cry.
I mean, we just have this.
Yeah. So I guess maybe I could have, now that I think about it, like I already got this one to the graveyard. I was assuming that if you summoned Alias and just attacked over me, that that would have put me at 4 darks.
Right.
So then
You gotta get it out the hand at some point.
Yeah, so I just threw this entire match. I played so bad.
Well, at least, like you know, the good thing is this is not for anything. It's just for kind of play testing, and now you'll know, okay, let me think about playing this Whirlwind before I slam it. Yeah. All right. So that was a duel. And I think...
That was a quick clap.
Yeah, I think game 1 wasn't really winnable for you. You had to draw, like... You needed to draw brain control in your opening with the Whirlwind and Shura to like crack the dupe block turn 1, and then also have repression to stop the Miracle Fusion plus Caius follow up, because like the whole game, everything was being thrown at you game 1.
Yeah.
You want to look at the replay real quick, and I'll turn my camera on so you can see, so we can watch this together. Just real quick.
Yeah, if I had just set the Mirror Force that turn, like that would have been a lot better. But yeah, I was like, I was getting greedy and trying to hold it, because I was like, I'll Black Rose and then I can set it. That puts me in a better position. Oh yeah, you had Gorse too, yeah. Yeah,
I'll tell you, this is a perfect hand. Like if I could draw this hand every single opening, every game with Stratos 1-for-1 plus Caius plus Gorse plus Miracle, like this is a perfect hand. This is the definition of like, maybe Heavy Storm would make this a little better, but I'll take the Gorse. It's fine. If you didn't open up this crazy, like this is obviously a super scary play. If you didn't open this, I would have did a dandelion thing this turn, but because you did.
Yeah. I was thinking about even black rosing my first turn, but I'm like, that's not even worth it. Like,
yeah,
that's like, even just considering what you had in your hand, like you were going to play around it regardless. So yeah, I should have set the Mirror Force for sure, but
yeah. And I think being dropped to 600 on the first battle phase of the game is like a sign that something went wrong in terms of card quality that one player drew. Like, it's just a very strong hand.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so this is something. So you didn't take the Dupe Frog, and I guess you were saying like, well, you did have Mirror Force. I don't know. I kind of, you know what though? If you were planning to Mirror Force, then it makes sense. This makes sense because you knew that you were going to Mirror Force and that your field was going to get wiped, or yeah, your field's going to get wiped. So the Dupe Frog would just give me another search for no reason. So this makes sense because at first I was like, usually when people make Goyo against me, they do take the Dupe Frog, and in a lot of cases it's fine because I don't have Absolute Zero at that time. But this guy made that awkward for you because Dupe Frog is actually insane for like other decks when they steal it from me.
The only reason I even make Goyo here, I'm like, I have exactly 3 darks in the graveyard right now, so technically, Dad, or no, actually no, because you banished. Yeah, so technically, I should have made the arm wing there. And just gotten a little bit of Pierce actually. My bad. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because if you're not going to take the Dupe Frog, because I thought you were summoning Goyo specifically because you were like, oh, I'm going to take it. Oh, so Whirlwind is not in your opening, which makes sense because you summoned Shura, so yeah, I knew that. And I was like, alright, let's see if he has Pulling the Rug. Because it does shoot Pulling the Rug, Shura. I was like, we're probably just going to the next game at that point. So Allure sees the Whirlwind, card's broken. We do this little trait, which makes Yada really good. You don't lose any advantage.
Actually, yeah, if I just hold this now, because like now I have Whirlwind plus Kalut in my hand.
Yeah, which next turn would be
really, yeah.
Yeah, and then I just rip a Substitute here, which if you didn't have Whirlwind on the field, this is just Brain Control, Summon Substitute, attack for 24, main phase 2, go into Dupe Block situation, and then your hand would be Whirlwind plus this. So you would be completely Dupe Block though, and that's something. Well, you have Whirlwind. Let's see what you in theory draw. Because I would have no incentive to go into Unifrog here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just do double dupe.
Yeah, so you... Yep.
Yeah, and so you would have Whirlwind, Thing. Yeah, so I think, and weirdly enough, in this situation, I'm still in a pretty good spot just because you won't have a way to break a dupe block with just those. I mean, you could Brionic, which I guess actually you would Brionic here. So you would go... Because you drew the value, so you go summon, Gale, Sync, also, search out Gale, Synchro, make Brio, bounce one of the dupes, discard this, and then also summon this, the 2500 guy. Okay, so yeah, holding Whirlwind would have changed it a lot because I take 23, I actually die. I take 23 plus 25 plus Kalut because you drew a second one. So I actually just die right there.
I misplayed so hard.
Yeah, so that was actually game 100% if you held it, because that Kalut off the top actually kills me.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we talked about last time of like, I saw Whirlwind, I'm like, oh, Whirlwind, slam.
Yeah.
And then I play Blizzard, I'm like, I have no search target. So even then, like, it wasn't great.
Yeah, I think that I haven't seen you blunder like that pretty much like ever. So I'm going to chalk that up to just like a random occurrence, like an outlier. Because we played a lot and you've never done something like that.
Yeah. Which is crazy, like earlier today, like I was actually very proud of how I played against Merchant because he's a very good player, and I'm like, I played that very well. And
yeah, let me actually pull that replay up. I'll pull it up so people can see. Let me see. Here it is. It's actually still very recently posted in the. So we could talk about this. This is.
Yeah.
So this is against Value. This is a classic matchup, Blackwing versus Value. Ludo believes that it's Blackwing favored. A lot of people believe that it's Value favored.
It all depends on what you draw.
I do think that this is probably as close as 50-50, and I was talking to Snack on Beast Mode's channel when we were streaming last Friday, and Snack said that in War League for Season 2, Blackwing and Value, I think, were 45 and 45 against each other. So they literally are perfectly 50-50 after all of those weeks of War League. Like literally, what, 12 or 13 weeks or however many weeks, I don't know how many weeks it is, but however many weeks it is, it goes on for months. And out of all of those weeks and all of those games that were played, Blackwings and Value were literally perfectly even in games against each other. So 50-50. And I think that's insane.
Yeah. Also, it was funny. I listened to that. Like, I didn't even watch the gameplay. I just put it on in the background and listened to you guys talk after it was done.
Yeah, well, apparently
like
people were saying it was like, yeah, that's what I heard. I heard people were saying this is like a podcast.
Yeah. So I summoned Bora because I'm like, I just got to against this matchup, you gotta get rid of the Necro in the graveyard, and he de-prisons here because I figured like, all right, he'll probably he was gonna go Necro. That's fine. I have an Icarus, so that if he goes Caius, I can chain the Icarus. But then he de-prisons. So like, I'm now just gonna leave the Legacy and the Dust Shoot, which I think Legacy also makes this matchup a lot better, kind of like we guys were talking about in that Beast Mode circuit video of like their pops are a lot less effective now and you don't lose card advantage, which I think that's the biggest thing. Like the Legacies, like, yeah, the 37 card deck is cool, but like not immediate. If all your trap cards are real and every single back row destruction hurts really bad versus Legacy makes it so you don't go minus and now you can stay in the game and then you don't lose gas and then you can keep up the pace. So that's really, what I've learned with those.
Really, Ryko just got a lot worse in the format in general. Like actually, like Ryko and like main deck Dust Tornado, those cards, they've just gotten worse because of like, even when I sided in Dust Tornado against you just now, I was thinking to myself, because you said 2 back row, I was like, what if they're both Legacy? Like that was one of my thoughts. I was like, I'm not playing this until you set a new card or do something like play Whirlwind, of course. So when you went MST, I was happy because I was like, okay, I assume that if he's doing MST, he knows that I have Dust Shooter because you trap Dust Shooter. So I was like, that other card is 100% Yada, which I'm fine with that trade though, because it's just 1 for 1.
Yeah. Well, and that was like, oh, the only reason I did that was because like I had Whirlwind, which I shouldn't have even did anyway. So
yeah.
But luckily, I get a free 4,000 burn. He goes here. I think about it. I'm like, all right, I should keep. Yeah, I can just collude this. It's fine.
Yeah, this got crazy. So he goes for it all because
he doesn't. And I know everything. Yeah. He tries to go for Mismerm, doesn't have it. I draw another Clute, which is incredibly clutch.
He actually wanted to Misworm you?
He wanted to because he tried to do 2, 3, and 4, but then he realized he didn't have it. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So he gets to use this Plague again. And you have...
Yeah, he doesn't have any cards in his hand. So I was like, I don't need to Icarus this. I can just Clute it.
Yeah, this is insane. The position you're in right now is absolutely ridiculous. This is crazy. I mean, it's just, you literally got it to a point where you perfectly win, which I love that situation where you just like checkmate someone.
And this is exactly what I was talking about. Like, all their cards are on the field. I don't have to worry about what they're holding in their hand. And that's why I feel like it's such a better matchup. I know what I need to play around. Yeah,
because Frogs definitely keeps a lot in hand, especially if people are going to start playing like draw traps and Frogs too, which makes the hands, it makes everything more confusing. Because then, like, Frogs is a deck that, like you said, it went from low trap to high trap. Now I'm in the middle where I play like 3 Geki Break, Torrential, Mirror Force, which is like right in the middle. But then if you have people also adding some number of draw traps to it, you can't tell what's going on anymore. Like, you might run into a Torrential or Mirror Force that are really bad for you at a certain point because you're like, oh, I need to push, or like, I think that is maybe just a draw trap, and it's just, no, it's one of those sweepers.
Yep. So yeah, he now knows I have double Yadas. Now his Ryko just sits there awkwardly. So here I'm like, all right, he knows these are both Yadas. Yep. I don't really think I'm actually going to get much value out of these now, so I just rip them.
Yeah, I think this is perfect. This is what I mean by you play well.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, like as soon as the jig is up, like there's no reason to hold these. Plus, I have the Ryko killer, Vayu.
Yeah, this is perfect. Like, the only way that could have been good for him is if that was a hamster, but you knew it wasn't a hamster. And now
so here, actually, so this, I was talking to Cairo about this. He thinks I should have summoned Sirocco here because it would put the Vayu and the Sirocco in the graveyard, but what I was thinking is that I want a level 4 in my graveyard for Blizzard, like guaranteed.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, and plus, like, if we get into a Sirocco checkmate, like I summon Sirocco, he summons Sirocco's, I can go Sirocco back.
Okay, I like this. You're playing for the future. Cairo was playing for like right now.
But I mean, he did mention like, well, you have an Icarus, so like you can convert the Shura, but like he's playing around my Icarus. Yeah. I feel like.
I mean, clearly, he is blatantly playing around Icarus right now. He's holding traps against Blackwings. This is, I like your play. I like that you you're like, if we get into the Sirocco War or like a Blackwing War in general, I have double of this card is obnoxious. And then, yeah, you also have Kalu. I could see it both ways, obviously. Like, I always look at things from both perspectives, but I don't mind your play because of you're looking at, like, if I draw Blizzard at any point, it is very good now because you know, that's just what this is like a check, you know, a checklist thing that you have to do when you play Blackwings is get a level 4 in a graveyard and then go from there. Yeah, he's playing our Icarus like very hard.
Yeah, so I was reading he had heavy here from holding so many cards.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, here's so I get that first attack in.
Value, Sirocco.
And so here is an interesting play because I don't want to get Stardust,
Correct.
but I also don't want to go have him super minus on, like go super minus by going brain control and taking it. So I go for his back row and his synchro because like if he doesn't have a way to convert Blizzard, then this is just a dead card. So I was kind of living on a prayer here. And even if he does convert, like it's okay. But I'd rather just go for the back row to try to clear up anything. It makes my next turn a little bit easier versus just going for both his monsters. Yeah,
this burial was the perfect card for him to have right here.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he could have had anything else that does exactly this.
Because in hindsight, this is actually a great play of, like, if he doesn't have burial, then it really punishes that brain control.
Yeah, you would have got your Blizzard back, which is insane. So you make Stardust here. You actually have so many outs to Stardust in your hand. Your whole hand just outs that card. Between Kalut and D-Prison, like, Stardust is actually not an issue, and you already, yeah. So, and he's at 59.
So it took me a little while to find this just because I had to double check the math because I'm very bad at math. So I had to make sure, like, first I got rid of Stardust. I'm like, all right, well, if I just do everything, let's hope he doesn't have Gores and I have game.
Yeah, if he had Gores, I would have raged. Like, personally,
but also, like, he set 2 trap cards. Like,
yes, that's what I'm saying. I would have raged if he had Gores right there, just because I feel like in that specific situation, like, how do you also have Gores there? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, this was well played. I mean, I don't think a lot of people would have seen that this was game, too. Like, you had to discard 4 cards from your hand. That is a scary thing to commit to.
Well, if you look at his graveyard, I believe both Bottomless and Torrential are gone, so I felt pretty safe. And I'm like, all right, you just have D-Prisons and Mirror Forces back there, so I felt pretty safe to do that. I don't think I...
This is one of the things that I think makes Value and Machina Control and all the Hamster Echo Kaius decks, they're all amazing decks. But it is one of the things that makes them a little easier to play against. The milling actually gives away so much information. And that helps me to win against this deck because when I'm playing against it, I'm just checklisting things that are extremely important as a Frog player to know. Because as Frogs, I already don't care about a lot of your cards anyway. Like D-Prison, Bottomless, shit like that, they don't matter. But Torrential, that's a big one. Once your Torrential's gone, it is open season on your deck. And so I only have to worry about a couple of things, like Brain Control's gone, okay, cool. Like Dark Arm's going, oh, like, nice. Burial's going. I'm still alive after Burial and Dark Arm and Brain Control. Oh, that's amazing. You know what I mean? Like, how do I lose?
Yeah, I've actually been thinking about putting Torrential in my Blackwing deck just to help with the game 1 Frog, because like that's like one of the cards that is a little bit better. But it's like, kind of like Ludo said, it's kind of like it's awkward in any other situation when you have a monster on the field. Yeah, and you do have Icarus Attack, but I think that if you were going to add Torrential, as well as, because he took out an Icarus Attack for it, I saw in one of his lists that he topped with. Yeah. And I like the idea of that, because they're both like negative tempo cards in theory. But also, I think that at that point, two value is really good too. Like if you're going to play Torrential, then I think that the second, because then it just combos together, right? Like just having value and Torrential is a solid field to have. Yeah. And I don't, like, with the values, like, yeah, I think 1 to 2 is fine. I'm not necessarily set on, like, I think 1 is better. Yeah. Because I've seen Ludo do both, and I just look at whatever he does is, like, the gold standard. So he goes back and forth between 2 and 1, and then goes back and forth between 1 and 2 and 3 Yadas and all that good stuff. Yeah, and I can show you, like, after the, just because I don't want to show it on YouTube just in case people I'm playing and see it, but I can show you some of the things I'm kind of experimenting with of, like, of what I'm trying. Yeah, so why don't we end this video here, and then we can talk off camera and do like a little, you know, Duck Doctor conversation type thing. All right, well, that being said, guys, I hope you did enjoy this video, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.